Seriously, just spitballing.
I ended up as a rent-a-cop. Got all this on video.
In Iraq, at an al-Qaeda compound, a group of extremists are preparing for an operation while several hostages watch nervously. Without clearance to engage, Marine John Triton defies orders and storms the building, opening fire on the insurgents. After a brief but intense hand-to-hand battle, he neutralizes the entire group and rescues the hostages. Despite his bravery, John is honorably discharged from the military and returns home, where his wife Kate warmly welcomes him. She is thrilled to have him back and looks forward to spending more time together. However, John struggles to adjust to civilian life and begins a job as a security guard the very next day. Meanwhile, a criminal named Rome arrives at a jewelry store where his crew is already in position. Posing as a customer, he suddenly attacks the security guard. His associate Bennett draws his gun and forces everyone down. With the display case being bulletproof, Rome grabs a woman and threatens her life unless the manager opens the secure door. When he complies, the woman reveals herself as Angela, Rome's girlfriend and an accomplice. Rome has the manager fill a bag with diamonds. The manager begs Rome to hit him for show, but instead, Rome shoots him dead. The gang exits the store and Rome opens fire on the approaching police. Morgan, another gang member, detonates a police vehicle, helping them escape. At the scene afterward, investigators suspect an inside job. Meanwhile, John starts his new security job at a large firm, partnered with a colleague named Joe. A wealthy, arrogant client arrives with 2 bodyguards. While Joe is enjoying the uneventful shift, John finds the job unfulfilling. A disturbance is reported on the 12th floor, where the rich man is harassing his ex-girlfriend. When John and Joe intervene, the man insults Joe, prompting John to drag him to the lobby. After the man's guards show up, a fight breaks out. John defeats the bodyguards and throws the man through a window. As a result, John is fired and Joe is suspended. The two chat afterward, with John expressing his uncertainty about civilian life. Joe reassures him that change is part of life and encourages him to appreciate being home. Encouraged, John returns to Kate. Meanwhile, Rome and Angela are back at their hotel. Angela is uneasy about the chaos they caused. Rome admits he killed the manager because his real name was used, but otherwise claims the job when trying to conceal what happened at work. John sees a news report about the incident, which includes footage of him throwing the man through a window. Kate, concerned, says he rushed into work too soon and suggests a road trip. John agrees. On the road the next day, the couple stops at a gas station, coincidentally the same one where Rome and his gang are fueling up. John heads inside to buy snacks, unaware that Angela and Bennett are doing the same. As Rome fills up the car, a police cruiser pulls in, making the gang nervous. A young cop casually chats with Rome, but Morgan sneaks up and fatally shoots him. Rome kills the second officer as he attempts to flee. John hears the gunfire but is knocked out by Bennett when he rushes toward Kate. Angela also shoots the store clerk before they flee. They decide to take Kate's car and kidnap her. John, regaining consciousness, watches as the gang escapes. Morgan shoots the gas pump, causing a massive explosion that throws John back. He survives and rushes to help the injured officer from the destroyed cop car, then commandeers it and speeds off in pursuit. Inside the gang's Jeep, Angela searches Kate's bag and learns she's married to a Marine, but doesn't think much of it. As John gives chase, Bennett and Morgan open fire on his vehicle. Rome attempts to run him off the road, but John stays on them. Forced off-road, his car's roof is ripped off, yet he keeps going. Rome drives toward a cliff and blinds John with gunfire, causing him to crash over the edge. The gang inspects the wreckage, and a furious Kate screams at them. Angela holds her at gunpoint, but Rome reminds them that Kate is their leverage. With their vehicle destroyed, they trek through a swamp to deliver the diamonds. Back at the gas station, Detective Van Buren arrives and learns of John's radio transmission. He then investigates the crash site. Suddenly, John emerges from the swamp and explains the situation. Van Buren says he can't authorize John's involvement, but John isn't asking. Van Buren warns him of the danger, but John presses on. As the gang moves through the swamp, Kate fights back but is restrained. Tensions rise. Morgan and Vesera argue again, leading Rome to fatally shoot Vesera for no reason. Police begin sweeping the area by land and air. John soon finds the spot where Vesera was killed, retrieves his knife, and continues tracking. Rome calls the diamond buyer but decides to keep the loot and betray the buyer. John navigates through the wilderness until he triggers a trap. He escapes quickly but is confronted by two men who mistake him for a cop. When they don't believe he's looking for his wife, he pretends to be law enforcement being tracked via GPS. Panicked, the men attack. John breaks free, fights them, and escapes, though he has lost the gang's trail, temporarily. He soon picks it up again and finds Rome and the others entering an abandoned lodge. While the gang rests, Kate begins loosening her restraints. Morgan starts a generator under the lodge but is ambushed by John. They fight brutally until Morgan smashes a bottle on John's head. John recovers and fatally stabs Morgan. Rome calls a contact to arrange a getaway boat. Bennett tries to start a boat but is ambushed and killed by John, who then hides the bodies beneath the lodge. John encounters Van Buren, who wants to take over the operation. John insists on finishing the mission, and Van Buren agrees. With the power out, Kate escapes. Angela chases her down and they fight. Angela pulls a gun, but John bursts in, only for Rome to hold him at gunpoint. Van Buren appears and orders Rome to drop the weapon, but suddenly turns his gun on John, revealing he was Rome's betrayed buyer. Van Buren demands the diamonds. Rome tells him to kill John for half the cut. When Van Buren hesitates, John grabs him and uses him as a shield as Rome opens fire. John takes cover while Rome and Angela flee with Kate. Rome shoots the lodge's gas tanks, causing an explosion, but John escapes. Rome locks Kate in Van Buren's trunk. John, emerging from the river, is intercepted by a Coast Guard officer. He overpowers him, takes his weapon and boat, and continues the chase. Rome and Angela stop a semi-truck and kill the driver to ditch Van Buren's car. John hears the report on the radio and locates the truck at the marina. Kate sees John approaching and creates a diversion. John leaps onto the truck and throws Angela off, where she's hit by a bus. Rome tries to shoot John, but Kate knocks the gun away. Rome smashes through buildings trying to shake John off. Eventually, John is thrown off and the truck crashes, exploding. Rome escapes, leaving Kate behind in the burning vehicle. John chases the truck, which careens into a river. Rome ambushes him and the two fight until a structure collapses on John. Rome tries to finish him with a sledgehammer and chainsaw. John blocks the attack, overpowers Rome, and dives into the river to save Kate. He frees her from the sinking truck and revives her. As they embrace, Rome attacks with a chain, but John counters and kills him by snapping his neck mid-air. With the threat over, the couple reunites as police.